Hi guys, welcome back with another Texas Chainsaw Massacre video, and today I'm going to bring you the max speed build version of Leatherface. Now, this is going to be a very fun build that I came up with. This was actually my initial Leatherface build, but I wanted to kind of take the time and figure out how can I make it have the most amount of damage, get the most amount of speed, and also help your team out a lot in the game as well while you're playing. And I think I've come up with the best build. Now, this build is going to be a little hard in the sense that you're not going to have a lot of damage output when you first start because of a specific skill. And then on top of that, you're also going to have a tough time because two of the perks in this skill are actually random perks. So you're probably going to spend a lot of time re-rolling to get them. So without dragging this out too long, let's jump into it. Now, we're going to start off with the actual skill tree of the ultimate ability, which is the chainsaw. And first, we're going to go to the left to get reduced chainsaw overheat. Again, I think this is way better than the time delay because as you guys see at the top of the tree, we have instant activation. And from my play testing and messing around with it, honestly, like from instantly activating your chainsaw to going and actually doing the 3 to 2 pulls on the chainsaw, it comes out to about the same even with the delay. So I would rather reduce the chance of me overheating than than have a shorter delay. I think because when you play Leatherface, the better you get at playing Leatherface, the less likely you are to actually stall your chainsaw because you just have more practice like revving it up and holding that sprint while you play. Then obviously we're going to go into the middle and get maim. Again, this is, I think, a no-brainer. I think everybody is going to use this. 20%, like you get a 20% more chance to use your chainsaw before it stalls. I think this is just the go-to no matter which way you go. I think you should always grab the stalling resistance in the middle of the tree. I think it's just a superior pick. And then obviously for the last one, we're going to go with instant activation. This is a no-brainer. Instant activation is a very good perk. It's going to allow you to do some crazy plays where you can hide from people and counter them. I actually have in my other build currently where I'm going hunting down an Anna and I turn off my chainsaw and she actually runs right to me and I activate my chainsaw, I go and I kill her. So this is a great perk. Now let's get into the actual perks themselves. First one we're going to go with is Hysterical Strength. Now Hysterical Strength is going to give you 20% more damage when your stamina is below 15%. Now, as Leatherface, you're going to be running around all the time with your chainsaw up, and your stamina, for the most part, is always going to be low when you're using Leatherface, so this is a great perk to actually run, because this is just free damage for just playing the build how you're supposed to play it. Again, Leatherface, you should be running with your chainsaw overhead, and you should be using that overhead attack all the time. You should never just be swinging your chainsaw wildly. The lock-on for the chainsaw is like weird, especially if you're not like in a room. If you're like in an open area, Leatherface like turns the other way. I'm pretty sure you guys have seen it while you played it. It's kind of clunky, that open area swinging. So for the most part, you should be running overhead, so your stamina should always be pretty low playing Leatherface. And then also it's going to help to buff this perk called Scout. Now this is where you're going to get all your speed from. Now Scout is going to give you 15% more movement speed, but you're going to take 10% reduced damage. Now, again, you might be thinking, wow, we lose 10% damage, but if you combine that with Hysterical Strength, let's say at the start of the match, you're actually starting the beginning of the game with 10% increased damage and 15% increased movement speed. Again, that's pretty awesome. Again, this is just going to require you to have to be below 15% stamina, but like I said, that is very easy, especially in the beginning because you are running around everywhere, you're chasing everybody down. So you'll easily get this 10% damage boost, and then on top of getting that 15% movement speed, and if you're asking how are we getting a 10% damage boost at the start, remember Hysterical Strength gives you 20% more damage, but Scout gives you minus 10%, so 20 minus 10 is 10, so you're going to start the game roughly either between minus 10% damage or plus 10% damage depending on that stamina bar, but you will always have that 15% movement speed allowing you to catch up to everybody. And you guys might be thinking that is crazy, 15% more movement speed on Leatherface when he's already like the fastest killer in the game. So yeah, it's pretty nuts. You're going to catch everybody, nobody's going to outrun you. It's going to be amazing. And then for the third perk, and this is going to be the selfish perk I call it, but I think it's just so good on a lot of killers. It's called Violent or Valiant, however you pronounce that. And if you are carrying a full vial of blood, you get 20% increased damage. So if everything is going according to plan with this build, you are going to be running around at 130% damage with 15% movement speed. So you will be able to start one-shotting players a lot and be super fast on the battlefield. Now, the only thing that is like a downside to this build is just the leveling process. Because if you're playing it and you start using it, Scout actually starts you at plus 5% movement speed and minus 30% damage. And I promise you guys, you will feel it. It'll be so obvious. You might hate it. You may never want to do it, but it sucks. It really does. But I promise you, if you level it up, you're going to have so much fun playing this build. And then for your grandpa perk, we're going to go with Nobody Escapes Hell. This is going to make the minigame for locked doors 40% more difficult. Again, this perk is so good whenever they get to the outside part. If you actually have good killers on top, and let's say you're being like an aggressive Leatherface and you're kind of preventing them from getting the doors, they feed Grandpa. This will automatically activate, and them leaving the basement is going to be even harder, and them moving throughout the map is going to be even harder. Now let's get into the actual attributes. We're going to obviously max out Savagery. We're obviously going to max out Endurance, and then we're going to just put the rest of the points into Blood Harvesting. Now you might be wondering, okay, why do you have maxed out Endurance when you have a perk in your build that wants you to deal increased damage when you don't have Stam? Again, I personally, as Leatherface, even with this perk, will always find myself when I'm going to go kill somebody at below 15% Stam. I just like to have more Stam because I think I would rather be able to run and just be more aggressive. Because I think that'll overall be better. But like I said, if you are running with your chainsaw overhead as Leatherface, you know, you will always be below 15% Stam. It won't even matter. This Stam is just nice for moving around the map, being able to run all the time. Because like I said, with Leatherface, and with this movement speed, you just want to keep running and moving through the map. Now let's get into the skill tree so you guys actually know where to go on the skill tree. So you're going to go to the right, and you're just going to keep going, and you're going to hug the right side. You're just going to basically go right side all the way up. Now, the biggest thing here is you want to, like I said, the two perks in here, Valiant and Hysterical Strength, are both going to be random perks, which are going to be a random perk right here and a random perk right here. So make sure you just keep re-rolling. That's like the worst part. And then you're just going to level up and go all the way to the top, just so you can get to level 10. Whatever the random perks you get, they don't matter because you're not using them. But this is how I came up with the best and highest damage max speed build for Leatherface. Anyways, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching, and consider watching these videos popping up right now on the screen, and I will catch y'all in the next one. Peace.